every player you are currently looking at will soon be gone. Because today, I'm gonna be doing a good old-fashioned Madden rebuild, but I have to start this off by trading literally everybody away and creating my own team with the picks we get from that. And that might sound too easy or too hard depending on who you ask, I guess, but I'm gonna be trading these players for how much I think they would get traded for in real life or less to try to keep this realistic. So this should be a ton of fun, and it's been a long time since I've done one of these. And by the end of this, we are gonna see if we can turn this into an even better team than we would have now, and possibly even the highest overall team in the league. We will see. But super quick, if you want to see me do another one of these, be sure to leave a like on the video. It sounds stupid, but leaving a like really does help out the channel. I would appreciate it. I know I say that every time, but like, it really does help. But yeah, it'll also let me know you want to see another one of these, and believe me, these are one of my favorite challenges to do. So if we can get to, let's just go with 2,000 likes again, it'll let me know y'all want to see another one of these. But also let me know down in the comments what team I should do next for these. I'll count up all the comments and see which team has the most, so be sure to let me know down in the comments what team I should do. I mean, preferably a good team to make it harder. And then very last thing, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because if you like Madden rebuilds / challenges in franchise, that's literally all I do on the channel. And it'll make you an OG of the channel for when we inevitably hit 10 million subscribers, definitely. But without further ado, let's get into this thing. And I'm not gonna show every trade I make because I'm really gonna try to trade as many players as I can. Obviously, there will be players that teams aren't interested in, like Devon Key, so I won't be trading him, but pretty much everybody's gonna be gone. Definitely every starter and most backups. So let's get into this, and let's start with arguably the most interesting player on this team, Bo Nix. I have no idea what his trade value should be, because believe it or not, first round pick QBs don't get traded in their rookie year much. I might regret this, but this is the only team that would give us a second round this year for Bo Nix. It's the Raiders. It's an interdivision trade for a first round pick QB. That's an interesting first trade to make. We'll see how bad that goes for us. But now, arguably the second or first most interesting player on the team, Pat Surtain. We'll trade him to the Cardinals for a first and a third. No idea what he would go for in real life, but I would imagine at least a first. Oh yeah, and we are allowed to trade for players here if we want to. We don't have to just trade our players for picks. But that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna trade Courtland Sutton to the Broncos, or to the Steelers, for a third round pick. Maybe a little redundant with George Pickens, but whatever. And then we'll take a second round pick for Quinn Miners. I mean, he just got a big deal, so it's probably gonna hurt our cap space, but I think a team would be willing to give up a second rounder for him. One of the best young guards in the league, I would say. And we'll trade Garrett Bowles for a fourth. I said I would be realistic with trade value. I just don't know what trade value is necessarily, because it's not like players like this get traded much. So we're gonna give Garrett Bowles up for only a fourth, just because he is older. I mean, if we're talking Madden, we could probably almost get a first round pick for him. Nobody's given up a first for Garrett Bowles in real life though, not at 32. And then the last pick that I'm gonna show, our last 80 plus overall. Well, I guess we have John Franklin Myers too, but whatever. This will be the last one I show. We're gonna get a fourth for him from the Bengals. He was really good, I think, his rookie year before he started getting hurt, or I think he had a pretty bad injury. I can't remember what it was, and has fallen off a little bit, but he could bounce back soon. Some players, especially running backs, it takes them a while to bounce back from leg injuries, so maybe we're not getting enough based on what he could be, but we gotta trade him here, so we'll take a fourth. But I'll trade the rest of the team away, and this is gonna take a while, but it's gonna look like an interesting team afterwards, believe me. Okay, I was maybe thinking about using the trade finder thing. I probably shouldn't. We're getting offered Quinn Miners, a fourth and a seventh for Troy Franklin. I like Troy Franklin, but he was what, a fourth round pick? Clearly the NFL doesn't like him as much as I do, so I don't think this game is so interesting. These offers are closer to fair, but I still don't know if they're super fair. I do want to trade for a player at some point, but I don't know if I want to trade for a 26-year-old. Okay, I might actually take this trade. It's a really weird trade. This would never happen in real life, but I did see Jacoby Myers trade rumors today. Another interdivision trade to the Raiders, but I'm gonna take this one. Not realistic at all, but it's an interesting one, so I'll take it. But okay, we've pretty well gutted the team now. We are a 69 overall, because of course we are. I'm surprised we're still even that. I mean, we have Will Lutz starting at QB. We're obviously gonna have to sign free agents to refill out the team, but it's not great. But we did end up trading for a few players. It's playing them all in different positions. The players we added through trades were, of course, Jacoby Myers, but John Michael Schmitz. It was actually a realistic trade. I can't remember what it was, though. I still have hope for John Michael Schmitz, even though he's been pretty terrible for the Giants. And then we also got Amani Hooker. I don't know if the Titans would be willing to part with him, but they offered him, so I took it. We also got Kwity Paye, who is playing outside linebacker, so he's only a 73 overall, but he was a 76 at the end. And then Divine Diablo was the last player we traded, added, I think, through trades. I also switched the team to a 4-3, because I just like 4-3s in Madden more than 3-4s. They play better, at least sometimes, most of the time. But let me sign some young free agents that we can hopefully develop, and we'll see how the team's looking heading into this. But okay, we're looking interesting heading into year one. I think Michael Pratt is gonna be our QB for at least this year. I mean, we'll see if he does well. It's gonna be hard for him to do well because the team is horrible, but I mean, I was surprised he went in the 7th round, and then I'm surprised the Packers cut him. I actually do kind of like him. I mean, I like him enough to give him a 66 overall, a whole 66, but we'll see. He could be decent. You never know. Other than that, I mean, Justin Ross, we'll see if we can develop him. Ricky Stromberg has star dev in this game for some reason, yet Tariq Woolen doesn't. I love that. And then is there anything notable on defense? I guess Caden Stearns, we re-signed him. I was surprised the Packers cut him, or the Broncos cut him, the team we're using. And then Kalen King, I mean, he was really good for Penn State a couple years ago and then was pretty terrible last year, so we'll see if we can get something out of him. I mean, he's still only 21, so I was a little surprised he declared and didn't just try to, you know, regain some of what he had in 2022, but we'll give him a chance here. But that's about all that's notable with this team, so let's get into year one. Let's just get straight to the end of the year, and will we win a game? I guess we'll see. But okay, we do actually win a few games. I mean, I don't think we should have necessarily, but we do go 4-13. And I should just point out, by the way, we had a rough second half of the year because we were 3-4 at the midseason, starting 2-0 with a 69 overall team. I love this game. I'm not going to spend too much time on the stats because this team is going to change a lot, but Michael Pratt was actually, he threw a lot of picks, but also 29 touchdown passes, 3,900 yards. That isn't bad. I mean, the picks were, but whatever. Dwayne McBride was kind of terrible. And Jacoby Myers, I guess he was really our only receiving option, but he finished with 1,450 yards, 18 touchdowns. Okay, sure. I kind of wanted Justin Ross to get more production, but he still had 800 yards. And the blocking, I say this every time, but legitimately, our like average of 92 overall offensive lines allow more sacks than this, like a lot more. Michael Pratt almost got sacked, or only got sacked 32 times with an average of like a 67 overall O-line. Maybe 68 on a good day, I don't know. And then we had a lot of tackles, 129 for Diablo, 128 for Barrett, TFLs 15 for Paye, 12 for Ika and Fahoko, and then sacks 6 for Paye. These are like hard names to say back to back. I don't know why. Paye, Fahoko, Ika, lots of K's. And then picks 3 for Hooker, 2 for Diablo and Stearns, and then 1 for a few players. I do want to check though. We have a few yearly awards to check. So AFC Offensive Player of the Year. We get number 2, of course. Josh Allen wins it, even though it's more of a receiver / running back award, so that's unfortunate. He at least probably won best receiver, but I don't know. Josh Downs was breathing down his neck. That's hilarious. Michael Pratt at 4 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Devon Vele at 7. And Michael Barrett wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Kalen King at 2. Nelson Caesar at 6, which we were playing him at off-ball linebacker. Don't ask why. I don't know. Actually, maybe we weren't. I don't think I changed the defensive playbook. I should have, but whatever. Kamal Hadden at 7. And then do we get best receiver? We do. Okay, so Jacoby Myers should hopefully get superstar dev, which should be obvious. I mean, he had 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns. You just never know in this game. Also, Alex Forsyth up there for offensive or best lineman. I know I said I was going to make this part quick, but more interesting stuff happened than I expected. We did better than I expected, even though we only won 4 games. But all right, let's get into this first off season. And We're obviously going to have a busy one, and we'll have to see which players we want to re-sign. But in free agency, this is an interesting class. It's a little bit top-heavy. The best player being Nick Chubb at a 95 overall, and then the second best player being Amari Cooper at an 85 overall. Just a little bit of a step down in overall, but there are some pretty good players here. And you know what? I don't get Nick Chubb very much in franchise. Maybe this should be the time. Maybe it won't be. A lot of teams have interest. And we surprisingly don't have that much money to play with. I mean, I guess just, probably took a lot of dead cap from all those trades. But I do still want to sign some players here. But we are going to go for Nick Chubb, Paulson Adebo, and Walker Little. A lot of the players here, like, they're good players, but Amari Cooper, 31, Ryan Kelly, 32, Micah Hyde, 34. Like, by the time we have a good team, these players won't be a part of it unless we make this team good immediately, which is possible. I'll show y'all why in a second. I mean, it should be obvious why, but I'll show y'all why. But let's see if we can get Nick Chubb, Paulson Adebo, and Walker Little. Oh. Okay. We get neither. Nick Chubb goes to the Buccaneers, and Paulson Adebo goes to the Commanders. I mean, I guess I get not wanting to play for this team, but come on. Well, we need to sign a running back. Is there one that actually does well in this game, though? That's the only question. Maybe Khalil Herbert. I feel like he's been horrible anytime I sign him. How about Alvin Kamara? Maybe the same deal, but he does pretty well, it looks like. He is 30, but we need somebody. How about a one-year deal? But okay, we'll go for Alvin Kamara, Bobby Brown, Tutu Atwell, James Houston, not Robinson, and Walker Little. Is this as good of a class as I was hoping for? No, but we gotta do what we gotta do. We get Bobby Brown and Tutu Atwell. Do these three want to sign? We'll see. Okay, well, cool. Let's get to the next week. We'll see if they sign. Honestly, it's fine if we don't have a good free agent class yet, because we're obviously gonna have a massive draft. But it looks like we get Alvin Kamara and Walker Little, and then James Houston does sign. So we do get all those players. But here is the reason we could be good next year. We obviously have an absurd amount of draft picks. Mostly fourth rounders, which I didn't realize I traded for that many fourth rounders, but I guess it makes sense. That's like my default. I don't know what this player would go for, but they're good, so we'll take a fourth. Oh yeah, and also the pick we traded for is number 8 overall in the first round. That's the one we got for Pat Surtain. So 2 top 10 picks, one being number 2 overall. What did that say? Font? Did I read that right? Oh no, from. I can't read. It said from blank. I thought they did that one thing where they left the default text in. You know what I'm talking about? The messages thing where it just says like, this is a test message or whatever it said that they clearly didn't mean to leave in. I thought they did that same thing again. But let's get to our first draft of this rebuild. And let's hope it's a good class, unlike free agency. But of course, like I said, we have the number 2 overall pick. The Commanders have the number 1 pick. Will they screw us over twice? I guess the Buccaneers took Nick Chubb, the main player I wanted, but they did take Paulson Adebo. But I don't even know who is good in this class. Okay, the projected number 1 pick is definitely good, Alex Coleman. However, for our focus scouted players, he's the only top 5 talent that we see. Wait, how good is the corner? I focus scouted a corner. Oh, maybe I didn't focus scout him. Oh yeah, I decided not to because I'm pretty confident he's pretty good. Jamison Cloud, just look at his ratings, look at his speed. If he's still there at number 8, we will without a doubt take him. And he could be, because there are a couple corners in front of him. Hopefully he's still there. We'll see. But with the number 1 pick, I'm assuming the Commanders are going to go Alex Coleman, especially because they need an edge rusher unless they signed one in free agency. They do. I don't know what we're going to do at number 2. I might honestly trade this pick back. I would hate to reach with the first pick of this rebuild. I mean, Jose Gallery's good, but not top 5 good, not number 2 good. This might be lame, but I definitely think it's smart to trade back here. I don't really see anyone worth this pick. I mean, clearly there has to be somebody worth it, but I don't see who that is. Could be the corner. I mean, we could take the corner here, actually. What if we trade down to like 5? That would be an interdivision trade up. I'm fine with it. I don't care at this point. All right, we're gonna steal a first next year from the Chargers to move down to 5. Now, hopefully the corner we want doesn't go. What was his name again? It was Cloud, right? There were a lot of corners, but yeah, Jamison Cloud. I mean, he might not even be the best one out of the group, technically, because all of these corners look good. Tyler Carroll, I guess, could be better. He's not as fast, but he still has elite acceleration and change of direction. Still looks really good. Luke Bryan. again. Also solid speed, elite acceleration. Not as good as the other ones, I don't think. And then Jeremiah Cox. Really strong, elite strength. 23 bench press. Yeah, I guess I said that right. I stopped like I said it wrong, but no. 23 bench reps at his pro day was only second in the class. That's interesting. He also ran a 4.36. I don't know. I do feel like Cloud is the best out of the group. We'll see though. Still available. None of the corners have gone yet. Ooh, what if I don't take him here? Now, unfortunately, this is a really bad quarterback class. I mean, these are all the guys that were available. I don't think any have been taken, right? No. The best is a first to second round talent. Should we trade back again though, or should we just not risk it? I think we just shouldn't risk it. I mean, we're absolutely safe, but I don't know. We already traded down. We got our value, so we'll just take him here. Ranked number 1 in the class. I mean, that was pretty obvious. Hidden dev, 96 speed. We'll take it. Why is the draft screen so bright all of a sudden? Am I crazy? That was interesting. But now at number 8, I have no idea what we're gonna do here. We could reach on Randolph because we do need a QB. I mean, we could also just wait until next year. That's definitely the better option. But there's one other first round talent that we have scouted in Amari Dorsey, and he's not supposed to go until pick 47. So I don't know. We could go Quay Barnett. Looks solid, but he's a physical. I don't like taking physical receivers. They're usually not that good unless they're like a top 5 pick. Sometimes those guys are really good. I do want a pass rusher, but I'm so bad at taking edge rushers. I just always feel lied to when I'm looking at a player. I just know they're not going to be as good as they look. I don't really see a great one either. I mean, maybe Buckhalter, but it depends on his combine. Poor acceleration. Nah, I'm good. We'll wait until next year. So I'm just going to trade this down. Honestly, I might just trade this back for next year picks. We'll hope we get luckier with, who the CPU scouts next year, because I'm sure there are top 5 talents here. There have to be, but I'm not seeing them. They're not scouted. But okay, we're going to trade the 8th pick back for a Patriots first next year. We're going to get a second from them this year and a second next year. So I guess we're getting one good pick this year, but mostly just investing in next year being a better class. I mean, again, I think this could be a good class. I just don't know who's good. And the positions where I want to take a player, also, I can't really find anyone that looks great. But early round 2, we could go with Amari Dorsey here. I mean, first round talent guard. Sure, why not? Ranked 15, got him at 34. We'll take it. Let's go with a receiver, unless they all suck, which it kind of looks like they do. Brady Darby. If that doesn't sound like a Patriots player, I don't know who does, especially because he's a white receiver. He's also 6'3", 198, but a playmaker. He looks kind of mid, but he might be close to worth the pick. I want a receiver. I just don't love any of these guys. Is there anyone with crazy speed? Jamie Meadows? That sounds like a person. Is that a real person? I don't know. Alex Jones, that's a real person. And then Damian Dowling. Ooh, he actually looks pretty good. No ratings below a C for the receiver ratings. A deep route, A spec catch. I wish he had better awareness, but elite speed, elite change of direction, elite acceleration. Now, I'm probably going to be really disappointed after I take him, but let's take him. Good pick, ranked 30, got him at 45. No dev trait, because why would an insane athlete have upside? That would be crazy. I don't know how many picks I'm going to show here, because, I mean, we have a lot, but for now, I'm liking the players we're getting. But let's see, let's maybe go with Robert Kramer. Only 21 years old, left-handed, just like me for real, out of Washington State. Great speed and acceleration, A awareness, A power moves, A tackle. I mean, he ran a 4.66 at 278. That's pretty good. We'll take him. Probably normal dev. He's a good pick, ranked 40, got him at 47. No, he does have hidden. Okay, we'll take it, as he should. I'm honestly surprised that was a good pick. A lot of the time, those second to third round power rushers, usually they're not good and they have normal dev, but I'm pleasantly surprised. And let's see, I would go with another corner, but we really don't need a corner. I feel like I've already said this a few times, but I'll show y'all why in a second. Something interesting happened that could only happen in Madden. But honestly, pretty soon I might just hand these picks off to the CPU because I don't really know what to do. Nicholas Cheeks looks interesting. He's very fast, as most defensive tackles are in this game. Looks really good, but is probably just good. I do like the A awareness though. This is probably a bad pick, but we'll take him. No, rank 37. We've yet to hit a bad pick, technically. Someone who wasn't worth the pick, or someone who wasn't ranked higher than where we picked him. I guess, I mean, if you reach a tiny bit, that isn't bad, but so far every pick has been not necessarily a steal, but ranked higher than where we picked them. Oh, and I waited too long for the guard. I shouldn't have done that. There was another first round talent guard. Oh well, I've seen better in interior O-line classes. But honestly, I don't really see anyone else I really want, so I might just simulate the rest of this out. Ooh, I would go with McLean, because he's a run support safety with really good run defense and like at least okay coverage, but he ran a 4.66, so I'm probably good. I mean, he's still probably decent, but whatever. Last pick. There's so many speed rushers as D tackles. Why? Like, is this a new thing they did this year? I don't remember this last year. But okay, last pick. I was gonna say, let's see if we can find an absurdly tall receiver. I found one, Melvin Archer, 6'9". Like, why do players like this exist? What's the logic here? Like, if I do I only use strong draft classes, but if I used very strong, like, would there be 7'2" receivers or something? I don't even know, man, but we'll go with Melvin Archer. He's actually worth it. I thought he would be horrible, but no, that was a good pick. I mean, no dev trait, but hey, we'll quit while we're ahead. The gambler's mentality. I guess I could trade some of these for next year's picks, but we'll see what the CPU can cook up. Sometimes it makes surprisingly decent picks. Sometimes it picks players so bad that, like, I didn't even know it was possible to pick someone that bad. We'll see. But okay, Jamison Cloud is an 83 overall, obviously the best player in the class. I honestly had hopes that he could be even like an 85, but I mean, still an 83 isn't too far off. 96 speed, 83 man, 82 zone. It might be crazy to say, but I'm a little disappointed by his man and zone and press. I mean, they were all A's. I've seen rookie corners in this game have like 88s for coverage ability. I've seen like 92 press or something like that for a rookie corner. Like immediately day one, the best press man corner in the league. But Amari Dorsey, he's good, 77 overall, but that was a mid-first round talent. Yeah, I guess that's about right. Dowling's a 76, Kramer's a 75, Cheeks is a 76, Archer's a 75, and then I should have called it. I was literally thinking the CPU's first pick is like always running back for some reason. Not always, but a lot of the time. I was legitimately going to say it's probably gonna pick like a 75-ish overall running back with the first pick, and what do you know? JC Locke. So now we have PJ Locke, and actually no, we don't have him anymore. Never mind. The bit's ruined. Easton Frazier. That might be the whitest name I've ever heard in my life. Good lord. But he's a hidden dev blocking tight end. He'll probably be our starter for the entire rebuild because he'll probably have X factor. The one thing I forgot to do was take a blocking tight end. I looked at him earlier in the draft, or I was going to, but I was like, it's too early. You can get him later. But the CPU grabbed one, so I'm happy with it. A decent center, and then 65 overall. That's great. 67. Good guard, though. 75 overall. Decent linebacker. Horrible free safety. But Bobby Davis, 76 overall. No dev trait, but really good D tackle. 98 strength. Sometimes I take these type of players, the just absurdly strong ones, and they're like kinda bad, like a 70 overall, but some of them are insane. He's not like insane, but he's definitely good. And then decent receiver, and then the rest of the draft was whatever. Also, is this a new glitch? I noticed this in the last rebuild, but there's like an invisible player here at the bottom. It just like doesn't show them. Darren Sims. So that's something. You got a ghost player, I guess. I don't know. But probably the biggest draft class of all time by a mile, but a pretty good one. We obviously got the best player in the class by 2 whole overall, almost 3 if not for Julian Cook. But there were some good running backs, good corners. Alex Coleman, the #1 pick, was really good, 80 overall, but I mean, the corner we got was better. I would maybe rather have Alex Coleman because it's harder to find a good pass rusher in drafts than a corner in Madden. But either way, let's get into year 2, a very different looking team from even how it looked after we traded everyone, but obviously very different from how this team started. But okay, now heading into year 2. We were a 77 overall just a second ago. We, for some reason, dropped to a 76, so that's great. But we are, of course, looking much better. And I mean, even compared to the real-life Broncos, this team, at the very least, is much younger. And, you know, at least on paper, this is a good team. Now, it's a team of rookies that have no experience playing together, so realistically, this should be a horrible team. But we'll see. We could win a few games. But a few interesting things here. So Michael Pratt, he wasn't amazing last year, but did well enough. There obviously wasn't a quarterback good enough for us to really take, and he actually developed quite a bit. He's up to a 74 overall. So I mean, hey, this might be risky. I don't know. I'm thinking about not setting our focus position as QB, you know, banking on the fact that Michael Pratt can improve from how he played last year. That's risky, but we'll see. We might do that. I mean, yeah, I might not, because even if Michael Pratt plays well, we should have a top 5 pick pick, so I'll just, or no, if Michael Pratt doesn't play well, we should have a top 5 pick, so I'll just focus scout the QBs at the top of the board and see if they're good. So no, we won't make QB the focus position, which is maybe risky, but whatever. But the interesting thing I was talking about earlier on defense here is, remember how Michael Barrett won Defensive Rookie of the Year? Well, what if I told you that he actually didn't win Defensive Rookie of the Year somehow, even though he did win it? Something I've been noticing lately is it actually gives Defensive Rookie of the Year to the number 2 player on the list a lot of the time. I don't know why. I don't know how that can even happen, but thankfully we had both of the top 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So it just went to Kalen King, which is stupid, but I guess we'll take it. Oh, wait, no, that's not what happened. I don't know why he got a dev trait. Wait, what? We won Defensive Rookie of the Year, right? Yeah, it went to Michael Barrett. Why did he not get a dev trait? Did he get, like, XP for it? Dog, what? Huh? I have dev trait regression off. What is this game, bro? Like, it gave him Star Dev and Superstar Dev for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, and then it immediately took those away for no reason. In the same week. Not like a week later, the same week. Excuse me? Do I not have dev trait regression off? Maybe I forgot to turn it off, but nobody else lost one. I guess we didn't have too many to begin with. Oh, okay, my fault. But why did he lose both of his dev traits in the same week? Okay, we'll give him those back. Oops. But, I mean, players usually lose them for playing bad, right? If you're winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, I don't think you're playing bad. I don't know why he lost not only 1, but 2, but okay. I mean, I don't even fully know how dev trait regression works. I don't normally have it on, intentionally at least, just because I feel like stuff like that happens. But okay, crisis averted, I guess. I wonder if that happened with someone like Divine Diablo, because he had a good year. I knew it. I was wondering why he didn't get Star Dev. What? Why does it give it and immediately take it away? That's so weird. Okay, well, I'm glad I don't normally play with it on. We'll give that back to him. I'm sure there's someone else here who got Star Dev and then immediately got it ripped away. I'm surprised that didn't happen to Jacoby Myers. Maybe he went up to X Factor and it immediately took it away. No, he just got Superstar. Okay, weird start to this rebuild, as most rebuilds are, because we're playing Madden after all, but at least I understand what happened now, even though I don't understand it. But either way, we still have to break down the team. I mean, y'all know the roster at this point, just a lot of rookies now, which should be a really good thing, at least in terms of the future plans for this team. Especially Jamison Cloud. I mean, he did develop. He's up 1 overall through the preseason, almost 2. So hopefully he has a good dev trait. We'll see. Maybe he can somehow win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, it's usually hard for corners, but I guess Kalen King was close last year. I am worried about our D-line, I'm not gonna lie, but I did switch to a 3-4 playbook now, or a 4-3 playbook. I switched to the Bills, as always, which I'm not even sure if the Bills playbook is that good, but it's my go-to for a 4-3, because every other, it's at least good sometimes, but every other playbook I use always sucks for some reason. So let's get into the year, let's get to the midseason point, and we will see what happens. Hopefully we aren't horrible, but we probably will be. We probably deserve to be, at least for now. But all right, we are somehow 3-4 at the midseason. I mean, we shouldn't be doing this well yet. Not that 3-4 is great, but it's better than the lowest overall team in the league should be doing. At least I think we're the lowest. I mean, the Titans are only a 79, so maybe we're not. Maybe there's someone tied with us. We probably are, though. The Panthers are also 79. Same with the Commanders, but yeah, we do have the lowest overall team still, which is fair. But what isn't fair is that we almost have a winning record. I mean, hey, I guess I can't complain too much about, you know, overperforming, but I just know what'll happen when we actually have a good overall team, as always. But we have some re-signings to worry about here, some interesting ones. Most of the players we traded for at the beginning of this will obviously bring Jacoby Myers back if he wants to, and he does. I didn't even see what the money was, but I don't think it was too bad. Kwity Paye, he's actually doing pretty well so far. He had 8.5 sacks in real life this last year. I honestly didn't know that. We'll see. We'll check at the end of the year how he's doing. Amani Hooker, maybe the same deal. Oh, he did have 3 picks last year. I forgot about that. Yeah, we'll re-sign him. Not many pass deflections, but I guess it doesn't matter too much when you're getting picks. And then Kamara's gonna regress. We'll just sign a new running back probably, but that's really everyone we have to worry about. Oh yeah, and I'm not gonna reveal the dev traits yet, but I checked, and at least on defense, they're pretty good. They're decent. So let's get to the end of the year, and we will see how we finish. I'm gonna guess like 6-11, but I don't know. Our stats aren't too bad. We might go like 7-10. We'll see. It's always so hard to predict, but we'll see. Okay, never mind. Maybe I underestimated the team. We finished 9-8. We definitely should not be that good. Again, lowest overall team in the league. I mean, maybe not anymore because we developed up to an 80, but this still should not be a team with a winning record. That's insane. It looks like we are still tied for the lowest overall team in the league with the Panthers, so I don't know how we almost made the playoffs. That's crazy. But let's go over our stats, see what went right, see what went wrong. Michael Pratt, 4,100 yards, 28 touchdowns, 12 picks. I mean, he might be the long-term option here. Legitimately. I feel like this year I've done a lot of rebuilds where we end up with a not great overall QB starting year one, and most of the time they don't work out. Sometimes they'll have like a promising year and then just go back to being horrible the next year, but I don't know. He definitely improved, definitely cut those interceptions down. More yards, only one less touchdown, better completion percentage. I'm not going to draft a QB unless there's like a top 5 talent that would be a steal or something. But Alvin Kamara, 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 per carry. Good year. I mean, the touchdowns are nice. But Jacoby Myers, 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns. Is he on pace to be the GOAT? I mean, if he did this every year, it'd be hard to argue, I guess. But Callaway is a rookie, 840 yards. I honestly didn't even know I started him. Only star dev, but still good. 800 yards for Dowling, 600 for Frazier. Blocking, Walker Little sucked, and John Michael Schmitz sucked, but the rest of the line was fine. Amari Dorsey wasn't great. And then Michael Barrett, 109 tackles, TFL's 19 for Kramer as a rookie. I'm not disappointed, but again, I'll show y'all something in a second. 16 TFLs for Pay, 12 for Cheeks, and then sacks, 9.5 for Kramer, 6.5 for Pay, 5.5 for Cheeks. And then 4 picks for Cloud led the team. 3 for Kalen King, 2 for Caden Stearns, and then 1 for a few players. But let's check out these yearly awards. Mahomes wins MVP, big surprise, especially when we're using a division rival of the Chiefs. He's gonna sweep every MVP he's gonna get. But Jacoby Myers all the way down at 4 for Offensive Player of the Year. I hate how it's all QBs. I feel like, I'm not saying Offensive Player of the Year should necessarily be a non-quarterback award, but MVP is such a quarterback award. I feel like they need a big award for non-QBs. A receiver won it at least in Rashee Rice, but I don't know. It's going to be hard to contend with the QBs, especially with how well they play in Madden. But Callaway at number 4 for Offensive Rookie of the Year, Dowling at 8, Frazier at 9, and Defensive Rookie of the Year, it goes to Robert Kramer. Okay. Jamison Cloud at 3, Nicholas Cheeks at 6. So let me show y'all the dev traits. So unfortunately on offense, some of these weren't revealed at the midseason, but neither of the linemen have superstar dev. Both only have star. Frazier only has star. That's surprising. And Callaway only has star. That's not really surprising. But on defense, I'm not going to beat the cheating allegations, I guess. We drafted 3 X Factors. 3 of them. That might be a record for me. Cloud, Kramer, and Cheeks all have X Factor. With, of course, Kramer winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, so he won't get a dev trait. He can't. But, he could be... I end up saying this a lot in rebuilds, and it most of the time doesn't happen, but he could end up being a 99 overall. We'll see by the end of this thing. I don't know if Cloud would be because he's 23 already. How old is Cheeks? Only 21, so I guess he could be too. But we got pretty lucky. Also, these power rusher defensive ends, they're so hit or miss, but I've drafted a few now that have X Factor. Most of them only have normal. Like 90% have normal. Like 7% have star. That's not necessarily true. It's more like 60% normal, 35% star, 5% X Factor. That's definitely real math. I definitely didn't forget to include superstars. Whatever. You get my point. There's a chance of getting X Factors with them. I've gotten a few now. So this defense is looking pretty good. Even though it's not the best overall yet, it should be pretty soon. But let's get into the offseason once again. I think I know what we need to fix, being like left tackle, center. I don't know how Brandon Walton was did he allow the least sacks? Wait, he allowed 4. Let's see who allowed more sacks than him, shall we? This will be a fun game. Braxton Jones allowed 18 sacks. This is a surprisingly low amount of sacks. Only one player allowed 15 plus. Jack Conklin allowed 14. Talise Fuaga, Jake Matthews, Charles Cross, Taylor Decker allowed 12. Colton Miller allowed 11. Garrett Bowles, of course, Walker Little, Teron Armstead, Christian Darrisaw, Andrew Thomas, Laramie Tunsil. Whoever said Madden's unrealistic, they're liars. Brandon Walton's just the greatest tackle of all time. What can I say? And Laramie Tunsil, Andrew Thomas, Christian Darrisaw, Teron Armstead, never heard of them. Mid. I love this game. if you couldn't tell. Super realistic. And those are very, like, tame numbers. I'm shocked there wasn't someone that allowed, like, 22. Oh, yeah, and let's see if we gained any dev traits. Ooh. Oh, we did. Okay. I mean, unsurprisingly, Jacoby Myers got X Factor for no reason. Let's go. Probably for... Okay, if it doesn't give you a reason, does that mean they made a Pro Bowl and gained a dev trait? That's just what I always assume. That's probably what it is, but if that is what it is, I don't know why it doesn't tell you that. I don't know. But Hallman at running back has superstar. Oh, no, he's a fullback. Oh, wait, what? Why is he a fullback? Did I, like, mess something up? He just looks like a running back. Is he the... I'm so confused. I don't think I've ever seen a fullback in Madden that's like a higher overall at running back. Did I accidentally somehow move him? I have no idea what happened, but that's cool. That's fun. And then on defense, I don't think we gained any dev traits. I don't know what we would have gained, but we didn't. Hold on, I gotta check now. Let me check the recording. Was he a fullback that the CPU picked? I'm guessing that's what happened. Okay, yeah, it says he was a 4th round pick, which that's crazy. I mean, I guess I get it, but why are you picking a fullback in the 4th round? Now, a superstar running back, I guess I can get behind, but he's still not the best overall in the world. I mean, he's fine. I mean, hey, maybe look for really good rushing fullbacks in drafts. But we still have some re-signings. Of course, Kwity Paye being the big one. And I don't think we're gonna bring him back. I mean, he's been okay, but I want more sack production than this. His TFLs are good, but like TFL numbers are just way too high in this game in general. It's not hard to get a ton of them. And then Alvin Kamara did regress, so we'll just let both of these guys go. We'll save our money, but we'll see if there are some good players available, hopefully. And this should once again be a big draft class too, so I don't want to overspend. But okay, there's some interesting players. Deebo Samuel being the big one. I don't think we would be able to get him because he is the best overall player here by a lot, and he's not interested at all. I mean, we'll check. Maybe those are low offers for him. No, okay. Jalen Phillips, I don't like in this game. He usually sucks. He did have one good year, 10.5 sacks, but 5.5 this last year. I'm good. Geno Stone, not interested. This is kind of tough. DeMarcus Lawrence is here, though. Should we continue the Cowboys to Broncos edge rusher pipeline? DeMarcus Ware, Randy Gregory, now DeMarcus Lawrence. I think we will, which in real life, I don't know if I would sign a 34-year-old DeMarcus Lawrence, but in Madden, he wins Defensive Player of the Years, I'll say that. And I want a left tackle, but I don't necessarily want any of these guys. Ooh, my GOAT, my king, Taylor Moton. Probably the best performing tackle in this game. But okay, we're gonna be going for older players here, like borderline retirement players. We're gonna go for DeMarcus Lawrence at 34, Grady Jarrett at 33, who I don't think we're gonna get, but we might as well try, because like the other two here, he's a really good player in Madden. I mean, good in real life, but he's like one of the best in Madden. And then Taylor Moton, again, one of the best in Madden for performance. So we'll try to sign these three guys, and we do get Lawrence and Moton. We don't get Grady Jarrett, which is exactly what I expected. So that's fine. We have D tackles. Interesting signings here. Deebo Samuel goes to the Packers, Jalen Phillips to the Seahawks, Geno Stone to the Panthers. I don't know why. Those are just, I don't normally point out free agent signings. Those are just interesting to me. But all right, kind of light free agent class, but also kind of good. So let's get to the draft, and we will see what we can do. Oh yeah, wait, we need a running back. Maybe I should give that a second look, because I don't want to be drafting one. It's hard to make them play well. This year, I will give Madden one thing. I don't know if they changed it intentionally, probably not knowing them and whatever, but like drafted running backs do better in this year's game, it feels like. You don't get those like 2.5 yards per carry, 84 overall rookie running backs anymore, thankfully. Now, they still underperform, but not as bad as they used to. God, I don't want any of these running backs. I guess we'll go with Brian Robinson for like a year, just so we have somebody, and he does sign. Okay, let's get to the draft. But all right, in the draft, we have the #1 pick. I didn't even scout. I need to like be better about checking what picks we have before I focus scout, because I intentionally didn't focus scout any top 5 talents because I just assumed we wouldn't have a top 5 pick. But clearly that was a mistake. Whose pick is this? It's clearly not ours. We went 9 and 8. You can't go NFL draft picks. I don't know why I did that to begin with. I should have just stayed as us. It's the Patriots. Okay, that makes sense. That's understandable. We also have their second round pick, but the 7th pick is the Chargers, and then the 16th is ours. Okay, the hope in trading for the Patriots first round pick was for it to become a good one. I just forgot we had it. Now with that pick, once again, we don't have any top 5 talents scouted. I'm sure, I mean, again, like I was saying last year, there have to be some somewhere. I just don't know which ones. Probably Lance Butler is one of them. I mean, safeties are always a safe bet in Madden for being insanely good. We're obviously not going to take a safety at number 1 overall, but he looks good. I don't know if either of these receivers are all that good unless they're like insanely fast, which they're not. Connor Coleman, no. What was my focus position? I don't even remember. Did I go outside linebacker? I did. Good lord, it's a terrible class. There's one first to second round talent, and that's it. Ooh, wait a minute. Dom Miller. Power moves and finesse moves. I feel like I've taken a player that looks exactly like this, and I was super disappointed, but I still might take him number 1 overall just because he looks insane. Ranked number 8, so I don't think we could get him at 7. He would probably go before that. How fast is Cedric Bush? Okay, only a 4.76, but elite change direction, agility, and acceleration. Now, we don't really need a pass rusher right now, but I'm just assuming we will in the future once DeMarcus Lawrence retires. All right, I don't really feel like trading down, and I don't really see anyone else worth taking unless there's a really good tackle, which maybe, but I don't see one. All right, probably a bad pick, but I'm down to take a risk. We'll go with Dom Miller. Definitely not the best player in the class, but hopefully a good one. Ranked 9, got him at number 1. I'll take that. That's about as good as I could have asked for. I was hoping a little bit better, actually, but 9 is fine. Now, at number 7, once again, I don't know what to do. I might go with a receiver. I mean, we still obviously need one. All of them are still here. One hasn't been taken yet. I don't know if any of these guys are all that good, because, I mean, they could be. But Lipton doesn't have any elite traits. He does have a medium route and spec catch and maybe awareness, but that's it as a top 5 talent receiver. Connor Coleman, I just straight up think might be bad, but I don't know. I mean, not bad, but I think the others are a little better. Doug Lehman might be good. Does have elite agility, a awareness, spec catch, short route and catching, B medium route catch and traffic. He might be the pick. Is this going to be worth it? No. Do we need a receiver? Yes. So we are gonna take him. Ranked number 8, got him at 7. Okay, that was worth it. So hey, those are 2 pretty good first picks. Not like steals, obviously, but fair value. So I'm cool with it. I don't know if he was the best receiver for sure, but we'll find out. And let's see, is there a really good lineman this year? Because we still do need a line. I don't see a really good lineman. I mean, there are good ones, but no like 80 plus overalls, I don't think. Lance Butler's still here. You know what? Sure. Ranked number 5. Cool. We'll take a top 5 talent. I was right. All right. So far, we're 3 for 3 on getting top 10 talents. Pretty good draft so far. And let's see, is there a really good corner? We're just really going down the list of positions that are good in Madden drafts. Brian Hendricks, 20-year-old corner. Ran a 4.42, 4.38 at his pro day. Only solid speed, solid acceleration. Let's see how stupid that is. Avery Lowry, or whatever that last name is. 4.41, 4.40 at his pro day. Good speed, elite acceleration. Deontay Roth, 4.40, 4.36. Great speed, elite acceleration. So 0.02 is the difference between solid and basically elite. I'm sure we could find someone with elite speed and elite acceleration that's actually slower. I don't know. I don't feel like it. So I don't know. I would go with Hendricks if his speed was as good as it says it is, as good as his 40 time, but how's Ben Taylor? I don't know. I still might go with Hendricks because he's only 20, and those players are always good in Madden for some reason. Yeah, sure, why not? Ranked 38, that's fine. Hidden dev at least. Should develop really quick. And let's see, I only might show one more pick. I kinda like JJ McGuire. Really good pass blocker with solid run blocking. That's usually what you want to look for. Ranked number 6. Yeah, pretty good pick. Not the best strength. If he did have like even 89 strength, he could be like the best player in the class, but we'll take it either way. And why not? Let's go with one more lineman. Brandon Nance. Ranked 29, got him at 67, sure. But all right, I will maybe make a few more picks and then I'll simulate the rest out and we'll see how we did. I thought this dude's name was Greg Craig isn't much better. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. Not like the craziest one ever, but I mean, pretty good. We got 379 overalls and 80 overall. Dom Miller, you know, as expected, 79 overall, good player. Won't play this year, which, you know, it is what it is. Honestly, though, like, I know already said this, but there just wasn't a lot positional value-wise that would make sense to go with at number 1, because we didn't need a QB. There wasn't really a great receiver. I guess I could have looked for a defensive tackle, and I didn't really see a great lineman there. So, you know, we'll see. I'm sure there was a better pick I could have made, but Dom Miller's pretty good. And then Doug Lehman, also a 79. We'll see if he was the best option we could have taken at receiver. He has 92 spec catch, 95 agility, 93 excel. Good player. And then our highest overall pick of the draft, Lance Butler at an 80. 93 speed, 92 excel, just really well-rounded. And then JJ McGuire, 79 overall. That was a steal for the mid-second. Brandon Nance, really good. Greg Craig was a first-round talent. And then my last pick was Jeremiah Newman because he had A awareness. I like to take running backs that have high awareness. They're usually good. He's just pretty good. I thought he would be better. Does it even show awareness? I guess it doesn't, but yeah, we'll see what his dev trait is. And then the CPU picked a good D tackle. I already moved everyone to their right positions. Like Sherman was a defensive end, but he'll obviously play D tackle for us because he's like 305 or something. Or no, he's only 297, but still a decent center. And then that was about it. The CPU didn't really do much, but whatever. But let's get into year number 3 and we will see how the team's looking. But okay, here we are heading into year number 3. Looking pretty good, up to an 83 overall across the board. 83 offense, 83 defense. Such an interesting team. I feel like, you know, it's been kind of fun lately with the different challenges I've been doing. We've been building such different teams. Like, we have a backfield of Michael Pratt and Brian Robinson Jr. Our receiving core is a top 10 pick, Jacoby Myers with X Factor. I don't know, the teams have been so interesting lately. Michael Barrett has superstar. We have Divine Diablo, Amani Hooker. Kalen King has really developed. I like doing these rebuilds where we develop interesting players. And we should develop even more throughout the year. Even though Jacoby Myers has been great, I'm gonna make Lehman the number 1 receiver this year. I mean, I want to get him offensive rookie of the year. I want to change his number. It always gives receivers numbers in the 20s. I mean, we must have a full roster or something. I don't know. Or we must have had one earlier. But yeah, I have no idea how this offense is gonna do. We'll see. Hopefully the O-line is good. I'm sure someone will underperform, but it's a really young O-line other than Taylor Moton. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna do something interesting with our D-line. I'm actually gonna play Miller as a rotational D tackle for the first year, because I mean, he is about 280. He has 89 strength, good block shed, so he actually will get some decent playing time year 1. You know, we have a lot of rookies starting. Hendricks, Butler, Craig, of course Miller. On offense, not as many, but at least a couple. But all right, let's get into the year. I have no idea how we're gonna do. We're probably gonna do worse than last year, despite being a much better overall, because that's just how the game works. But we're really looking to year 4 if we don't do well this year. We could though, we'll see. But all right, we are 4-3 at the midseason, so we are better with a better team. That's rare. Still maybe even better than we should be once again, but I mean, we'll take it at this point. Now, we of course have some re-signings. I don't know if we're gonna bring either of these guys back, Brian Robinson or John Michael Schmitz. We're mostly a rookie team, so we haven't had many re-signings to worry about. Not mostly a rookie team, but mostly everyone is still early on their rookie deals. And I'm cheating, what can I say? Doug Lehman has X Factor. Of course he does. We'll take it. 42 injury? What? Okay, well maybe that's why. Why does he only have 42 injury? Why was he a projected like top 10 pick? I mean, it's not like, I mean, he has X Factor, of course, but it's not like he was that crazy of a prospect. He was only a 79 overall. Usually the injury, if players have terrible injury ratings, it really lowers them on where they should go, obviously, or where they're projected to go. But I mean, I guess that doesn't matter here because no injuries, but still interesting. And you know what? We might as well check the defense. Any good dev traits? Of course. Dom Miller, X Factor. We're doing pretty well with drafting, I think. So far, 5 X Factors picked out of like 6 first-round picks, however many we've had. Maybe more than that, but still. Surprisingly, Butler and Hendricks only have star. I thought for sure at least one of them would have star, or superstar or X Factor, but can't win them all. Also, McGuire only has star. We've been getting unlucky with the O-line dev traits. Maybe Nance will have one. I mean, probably not, but we'll see. Either way, we can't complain too much. But all right, that's about all there is to do at the mid-season. Let's get to the end of the year. Also, we're coming off of a 7-6 win against the Chargers a couple weeks ago. That sounds about right for the AFC West. But all right, here we are at the end of year number 3, and if you've seen one of these videos before, y'all know why we're here. Before I reveal how we did it in year number 3, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video if you haven't, because that really helps out the channel, and be sure to subscribe, because if you like rebuilds, that's literally all I do. And if you've enjoyed this so so far. This is literally all I do. And again, let me know any fun ideas y'all have down in the comments. Any goofy ideas, anything similar to this? I mean, I don't know what you could come up with that's similar to this, but let me know what team you would want me to do this with. Again, I'll do whatever team has the most comments. I like doing that more than the most liked comment, because I feel like the most liked comment just ends up being one of the earliest, rather than what people actually want to see. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know, I feel like it's more accurate if I just count them rather than going off the one with the most likes, if you ever wondered why I do it that way. But anyways, we are now up to an 85 overall at the end of the year, and in year number 3, we finished 11-6, and we made the playoffs. Very good year. We definitely overperformed once again. Although, I don't know, the Bills also went 11-6, and they're only an 84. But let's check out our season stats. Michael Pratt, man. 3,900 yards, 31 touchdowns, 13 picks. Very good season. Still no star dev somehow. Maybe he'll get one this year. I don't know. We'll see. But he's been really good. Brian Robinson is terrible. But Doug Lehman as a rookie, 1,400 yards, 18 touchdowns, basically just taking Jacoby Myers' production. But Jacoby Myers also had 1,000 yards. Only 3 touchdowns, but still. 669 yards, nice for Trey Callaway, 5 touchdowns. Blocking, Doug McDonald, 10 sacks allowed. That's not great. Even Taylor Moton wasn't great. I guess he's better than Walker Little was, but overall the tackles did worse, despite being much better than the duo of Walker Little and Brandon Walton. Maybe we should just put him back in. I don't know. I legitimately might put Walton back in for McDonald, though. We'll see. I don't know if McDonald was really terrible in the first half of the year and then got better, or the opposite. I don't know. I should have checked. But Greg Craig led the team in tackles. That's such an annoying name to say. 104, 103 for Michael Barrett. TFLs, 15 for Lawrence and Kramer, 14 for Miller, 10 for Barrett and Cheeks, and then sacks, 17.5 for DeMarcus Lawrence. Yes, that DeMarcus Lawrence, who's good, but what's his career high for sacks? Well, I guess we can just check here. 14. So, I mean, good, but A, that was 7 years ago, I guess almost 10 years ago at this point, and B, 15 and 17.5 are still better. I mean, he's been getting like 4, 6, 3. Like, is the last time they changed simulation 7 years ago? I genuinely have a theory that that might be what it is, because a lot of players that do well in franchise are older players that peaked like 6 or 7 years ago, and I wonder if they tried to have players replicate like these kind of numbers in simulation, even though that's not really what they get anymore. I don't know, I guess that can't be the case because most players in the NFL are guys that weren't around 7 years ago. I don't know, it's still so interesting though, like they need to change how it works. Anyways, Dom Miller as a rookie was a monster. 12 sacks, 14 TFLs, up to an 86 overall. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best drafter of all time, but I'm saying we got lucky. That's probably what it is. And then 10 sacks for Cheeks and even 8 for Robert Kramer, who kind of had a disappointing year, which is crazy because 8 sacks is still good. But he had 9.5 last year. I was hoping he could build on that. But either way, the rest of the team made up for it. And then picks, 6 for Jamison Cloud, 2 for King and Moody as a rookie, and then 1 for a couple players. But MVP, I called it. He's gonna sweep the awards. Mahomes wins it because we're a division rival of the Chiefs. Another theory I have, which I've said a million times, is Madden for some reason makes your division rivals perform better in simulation. I don't know why. I don't know if it's provably true, but I bet I could prove it. If I went through and like looked at awards and rebuilds that I've done and see like what percentage is division rivals versus non-division rivals. I don't know. I guess it would be kind of skewed by me doing 0 overall rebuilds because of course they're gonna do better getting to beat up on a 0 overall team twice a year. I don't know. I'm just yapping. It's still something that drives me crazy in this game though. But Lamar wins Offensive Player of the Year, of course, a QB. Doug Lehman at number 4 as a rookie. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Myles Garrett. DeMarcus Lawrence at 3. Okay. Dom Miller at 8. And then Offensive Rookie of the Year obviously goes to Doug Lehman. Jeremiah Newman at number 8. I definitely remember who that is. That might be the running back. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Dom Miller, so we sweep. Greg Craig at number 8. But of course, we are thankfully finally in the playoffs. I say finally, but we're just finally a good overall team. Honestly, though, our offense is kind of terrible. I don't know. It's felt good, though. We've put up really good numbers. I wonder if I should I bench McDonald? Should I put in Brandon Walton at a 73 overall? Why not? I mean, what's the worst case scenario? Walton also does bad, like McDonald has been. I mean, I guess he could do worse, but from what we've seen, Walton does a lot better, at least in 1 year. But all right, let's simulate this game. game against the Bills. I don't think we're gonna win, unfortunately. We maybe deserve to. We're a better overall team, but just slightly. They're the home team, though. We did beat them in week 18. I just noticed that. But let's simulate this game, and we will see what happens. We do win. I wish it would tell us the score, but of course it doesn't. What was it? Greg Rousseau had 3 sacks, just like real life, I guess. One of the most underrated players in the league. I've been saying that. Oh yeah, also this is kind of like way off topic, but big surprise. Welcome to the channel. I'm never on topic, but I want to do like an all underrated players team rebuild where I just start with underrated players. I don't know. There wouldn't be much of a rebuilding that I would do, but it would still be fun to, you know, highlight underrated players. So let me know if you would want to see that. I also thought about doing an all overrated players team. I don't think that would go over very well, so I don't think I'll do that, but it would be good comment bait. So maybe I should. I don't know. What was I gonna check? Oh yeah, I was gonna check the score because it didn't tell us. Not standings. Give me the playoff schedule. I'm stupid. We won, 21-20. Okay, I mean, it should have been a close game, and it definitely was. All the AFC games, almost all the playoff games were, except Cowboys-Packers, which, was that the score in real life, but reversed this last year? Hold on. Okay, pretty good call. It was 48-32, so each team had 10 points more, and obviously the Packers won, like I said. I don't know why I remembered that score. I mean, I kinda did. Close enough. But we are gonna be losing in the divisional. We are gonna be facing the Ravens in Baltimore, the 1 seed for the AFC. They're an 87 to our 85. Surely this'll go well. If we suck, I'm gonna change our defense or our offensive playbook. Like if we just get blown out here. I mean, I think either way, because it was a bad offense. Oh, whoa. We started off the year getting beat 52-17 by the Jets. Okay, but I want to see, how did Brandon Walton do? Oh, okay, never mind. All right, well, glad I looked. He allowed as many sacks in that game as he did all of last year. All right, but let's simulate this game against the Ravens. I'm not expecting to win, but I guess we could somehow, and we do. And we're gonna lose to the Jags. I always say this, but the Jags are one of the teams that we can never beat in the playoffs. I don't know why, but of course we did beat the Ravens 35-29. It was close, but a really high scoring game for, again, we didn't have that good of an offense in the regular season. I'm surprised it's so good now. We're getting like 28 points a game or something like that. We only had 23 in the regular season. I guess that's close-ish. Well, I don't know. The Jags had the best offense in the regular season, apparently, 29 points per game. So let's see what happens here. Can we move on to the Super Bowl? We do. 31-28. So, hey, I mean, if we win here, we might make this the last game of the rebuild. I feel like I've been yapping, so it's going to be a long one, so I guess I could end it here. If we lose, we'll go to another year, but what am I checking? Like, why am I checking stats? Why am I just clicking on stuff? What's wrong with me? But yeah, if we win the Super Bowl here, this will be the last game of the rebuild. If we lose, we'll go to a quick year 4, but I don't know if we're going to win this one. We are going to be taking on the Dallas Cowboys. We have a press conference here. I haven't been picking many storylines. I haven't been clicking on them just because most of the time they're not worth clicking. I mean, they are. I'm just lazy. JJ Maguire, I don't know. We'll give him a whole 1 pass blocking. Wow, huge development. But all right, we'll jump in and watch this simulate. A good old classic Cowboys-Broncos Super Bowl. I'm sure that happened in the 90s, the early 90s. But let's see if we can win a Super Bowl already with Michael Pratt at QB, by the way. But the Cowboys do score first, and they are going to make it 10-0 super early. Our offense fell flat on its face. We finally get a field goal, but they're going to get another one. We get another field goal. That's not going to be enough. We do get a touchdown to tie it. They take the lead with a field goal, but we're driving. We tie it in the fourth quarter, but they are going to take the lead 26-23. That happened really quick as we lose the Super Bowl. It was just too little too late for our offense. If we just converted one of those, like 5 field goals to a touchdown, we would have won. Our red zone offense was just terrible. I guess it was only 3 field goals. They actually had more, but we needed a touchdown. So unlucky, but it's fair. We are the lower overall team, but let's get into the final year, and we'll see what we want to do for this final year. Our offense kind of came around during the playoffs, but it still wasn't amazing. I'm kind of thinking about the Jags offense. I've like consistently seen them be good recently. I don't know if that's just because they have Trevor Lawrence Lawrence, I don't know. I guess he doesn't. I haven't seen him do like exceptionally well in this game though. I mean, he was really good here, but Bryce Young also up here. You know what? I'll give the Jags offense a chance. I have no idea if it'll be good, but I'm feeling risky in this rebuild, and it's worked out pretty well so far. Eventually that'll stop working, but for now it's worked. But okay, for our final re-signing period, I don't think we're gonna bring anyone back. I mean, actually, how did John Michael Schmitz do this year? He was actually better, right? Yeah, he only allowed 1 sack. I mean, I know if we re-sign him, he's gonna allow 10 sacks, just because that's how this game works for some reason. Like, you re-sign players and they immediately suck most of the time. He doesn't re-sign anyways. I'm okay with that. And then Brian Robinson was terrible. We'll re-sign Brandon Aubrey if he wants to. He does. But hopefully there's some good free agents this year. Ooh. Okay, Travis Etienne is the best, I think the best running back we've seen so far in free agency, other than Nick Chubb, I guess, earlier. I forgot about that, though. He isn't great in this game. He was good this last year for the Jags. I feel like if we sign him, he's going to play more like this, though. I mean, what other option do we really have? Tyjae Spears? Ugh. I mean, he's good in real life, obviously, but real life and Madden are two very different things. I think really our only option is Etienne, and we have a ton of money, so let's just go crazy. We'll just sign a bunch of players. I even want to give Etienne very player-friendly. I know we have the lead, but I've had many times where we have a lead for a player and it doesn't mean anything. They choose a different one. God, there are no receivers, though. Has there been a single good receiver in free agency other than Deebo Samuel? I don't know. But let's see. I don't really want to sign one of these linemen. Man, I want to sign somebody, but I just don't know who. Nobody here really makes sense to sign. I guess we can get Brian Branch, but it looks like he has a lot of offers. Yeah, we'll try. I guess we could go for Jordan Love. Michael Pratt has been good, but Jordan Love has been better. Now, I rarely sign QBs in Madden, because usually you can just draft one and they'll play super well. Maybe we can't get him. The Rams have a big offer. Nah, okay, that's fine. I like the Michael Pratt story anyways. It's fun that we developed him, but I want to sign someone. I just don't know who. There isn't really anyone here that's an upgrade. So we'll go for Etienne, Stanley, and we probably won't get Brian Branch, but we'll probably end up trading for a player here with all the cap space we have. So these three, do they want to sign? Hopefully we get at least 2. Okay, we get Travis Etienne and Ronnie Stanley. Jordan Love goes to the Rams and Brian Branch goes to the Dolphins. That's tough, but I can't say I didn't expect it. But all right, let's make a trade. Ooh, you know what? I might do something interesting. What if we just put our first round pick up for offers? Ooh, Roma Dunze, Trey Hendrickson. So far, I don't see anyone at the position I'm looking for. You know, we could trade for a receiver though. I guess. I don't know how pass heavy the Jags offense is in Madden though. Because if it's pass heavy, I might take Javier Rich. Ooh, there's an X-Factor safety, a 23-year-old star dev, 86 overall center, Ryan Kirkpatrick, superstar tackle. I'm probably not gonna end up taking like the technically best value pick here, but I actually don't think I'm gonna take this trade right here, but we are gonna, we're gonna trade our first round pick and a 7th round pick for Edgerrin Cooper and a 2nd. I should have done this differently. I should have traded a 6th and then taken a 7th so we don't lose any draft picks, but this is fine. We're going to be giving up our first round pick for Edgerrin Cooper and a 2nd. I think that's about fair value. It might not be the best for us because I don't know that I don't know if a good linebacker is worth a 2nd round pick, but I don't know if I really care. I just wanted a good player and I'm fine with paying that much. I think it's worth it. I mean, again, I always reference this, but Ernest Jones basically went for a 6th round pick. Edgerrin Cooper is ranked, okay, he's actually a top 5 middle linebacker. I wouldn't say Ernest Jones is a top 5 linebacker, but that makes me feel a little better about that trade. But all right, let's get to the final draft. We're probably going to make it a quick one, but we do have a couple positions that we could upgrade, so let's see what we can do. But of course, in the draft, no first round pick. The Saints have the number 1 pick here, but let's get to our first pick at the end, or no, we have a mid-second. I don't remember where we got this. Oh, this is just the Packers. I'm stupid. We literally just traded for it. Whatever. But I think we are gonna go with Raphael Wagner, a first-round talent center. Looks honestly like a borderline top 5 talent. I guess he doesn't have a pass block power, and maybe not even a run block power, so I guess I get why he's not top 5, but we'll take him. Rank 22, okay. That's a little disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. He's like at the very end of first-round talents. I mean, that's still a good pick, but I was definitely right in my assumption that he wasn't really close to a top 5 talent. Still good, though. And of course, no dev trait, because the game hates me. But let's go with Chris Durbin, I guess. First round talent, probably similar, probably the later end of the first round talents, maybe like 18 or something, but we'll still take him. I was literally gonna say 17. I was like, he might be a little bit worse, but I know this game too well. One off, but no dev trait, of course. So this might be a pointless draft. I mean, it was kind of a little pointless to begin with, but I thought we could maybe get some upgrades, but oh well. And then let's go with Brendan Richards as I think the last pick I'm going to show. I made tight end our focus position. There weren't any great ones to begin with. I mean, there was a first round talent, but he went like mid first. He was ranked 14, so I would assume he went somewhere around there. But Brendan Richards will be a really good number 2, so we will take him. Ranked 33, almost a first round talent. Okay, I guess we're making up for getting so many X factors earlier. No dev traits so far. Awesome. But okay, in the draft, I mean, I'm not going to spend much time on this. We did get a starter in Raphael Wagner. I wish he had a dev trait, but what can you do? At least he's starting caliber, ranked 29, barely starting caliber, but still is. And then Chris Durbin is solid, and then Brendan Richards is solid. Like, these were good picks, technically, based on where we picked them. It's just no dev traits, and it would be hard to pick a starter anyways, because we have a good team. My last pick was James Farrell. He's a good guard, and then, as always, the CPU did nothing. That's cool. It picked 3 D linemen, 3 out of 4 picks, and a tackle, which we had already taken 2 linemen. What is the logic, dude? We're getting to the point of the rebuild where I start getting sick of playing Madden, because nothing makes sense. But okay, here we are heading into the final year, now up to an 87 overall, 88 offense, 87 defense, looking good. I still am a little worried about this offense, because it hasn't been good. Hopefully it will be with a new offensive playbook, but you never know. But our defense is looking insanely good. I mean, just look at this D-line. That's really all I need to say there. I could see a random 40 sack season, 45 sack season coming for Michael Pratt for no reason, because we have the best O-line we've had in this rebuild so far. Maybe it would be a strategy to start all the backups. It legitimately might be. It might play better. We'll see. There are concerns with the team. There's a good chance we miss the playoffs, but all we can do is see what happens. So let's get to the end of year number 4, the final year, and we will see how this team does. But okay, we actually do make the playoffs, going 11-6, which, by the way, we're up to a 90 overall. I just heard a weird siren outside that confused me. I doubt that came through on the mic, but I could not tell what that was. I thought it was like a scream at first. The voices are getting to me. I don't know. But it looks like we do have the highest overall team in the league at a 90. The Chiefs have an 89, which, by the way, I did lower my XP sliders a little bit for this rebuild, and I think it worked pretty well. Like, we still have some teams that aren't super great, some teams that are good, but not super, like, far and away the best team in the league. I didn't change them much, but I lowered my running back XP sliders by 10 and quarterback XP sliders by like 10 or 20, and it worked out pretty well. But we do have the highest overall team in the league, like I said. So we should have done even better than just 11-6, but what can you really expect in Madden? But Michael Pratt, 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, only 10 picks. Possibly one of the most interesting quarterbacks I've ever gone an entire rebuild with. I don't think he gained a throw power throughout the entire 4 years that we've been here, still only 84, but I mean, it doesn't matter too much. He's a good player. I mean, I think he's underrated by the NFL. I thought he was pretty good at Tulane. Not like amazing, but it was crazy. He, again, went in the 7th round and then got cut. I mean, I'm not going to act like I know better than NFL teams. It was just surprising. But Travis Etienne, 1,300 yards, 4.6 per carry. So I was worried for nothing there. I mean, I wasn't worried for nothing, but what I was worried about didn't happen. He actually did better, I guess arguably, than he did with the Jags. Less yards, but higher yards per carry, less touchdowns, so he was probably better with the Jags, but I don't know. Very good year either way. And then Doug Lehman, 1,360 yards, 12 touchdowns, 860 yards for Myers, 600 for Callaway and Frazier, and then sacks allowed weren't amazing. Our blocking is just getting worse and worse by the year, despite getting better and better on paper. Taylor Moton, 10 sacks allowed. I was playing him at right tackle, but I put him at left because Ronnie Stanley had allowed 7 sacks by the midseason. But Raphael Wagner was pretty horrible too, probably our worst lineman other than, I guess, Stanley. 8 sacks allowed from center. Dustin McDonald wasn't great at left tackle either. He was a little better than Stanley, but not much. And then the guards were both good. But Edgerrin Cooper, 124 tackles, TFL 17 for Miller, 14 for Lawrence and Kramer, and sacks 16 and a half for Nicholas Cheeks. I didn't think he would become our best pass rusher, but last year he was one of our best, and this year he was our best in terms of sacks. Only up to a 91, like he hasn't developed a crazy amount, but I guess he is a top 5 D tackle. Probably playing like the best though. But 12.5 sacks for Kramer, he bounced back, 11 for Miller, and only 8.5 for Lawrence, but that's more realistic. And interceptions. The Edgerrin Cooper trade was pretty good. He had 8 interceptions. That might be the most I've ever seen from a linebacker in Madden, and maybe in real life. I don't know, that might be a record. Damn. But 2 picks for Barrett, and then 1 for 4 different players. But MVP goes to Anthony Richardson. Interesting, that's cool. I don't see him do too well in this game a lot of the time, but he's doing well here. But let's see, Layman at 10 for Offensive Player of the Year, Edgerrin Cooper at 2 for Defensive Player of the Year, Cheeks at 8, Miller at 9, Kramer at 10, and then we didn't really have many rookies playing, so we didn't come even close on any of these. We had Richards at 10 for offensive. Still not, I guess, a great offense, 14th for points per game, 21st for passing yards, but it was better, I guess. But this is very possibly the final game of the rebuild, so again, if you've enjoyed, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff, y'all know the deal. But let's see if we can beat the Bengals here and not get upset. I guess they're the home team, but we're 3 overall better. Let's see what happens. We do win. I don't know what the score was. Is it gonna tell me? Oh, it does. 28-20. We win. That's fair. But we're gonna be facing the 13-4, but only 85 overall Buffalo Bills in the divisional. Okay. We probably should have been slightly better than them in the regular season, but let's see what happens here. And unfortunately, we do lose 34-31. That's unlucky.